Yo, faithful, it's the Niner Phantom, the Phantom Niner, and coming at you on this beautiful day because we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm just joking. It's probably a little in poor taste. I'm feeling it with you guys. I'm kind of devastated, not in the sense of here's the thing. There's a lot for me to be grateful for. I actually have a good life in the sense that I have all my limbs. I am healthy overall. I can afford to sleep in a house. I can afford to eat every day. And I know that's not the case across the world. So when I say this, don't get it twisted. I'm extremely grateful for what I have. But 49ers, they're kind of just in a situation where it's like they don't have anything. We got decimated this year. Last year was bad. And this year, it almost seems worse. And the craziest thing, the difference between this year and last year, is that last year, our defense was nowhere nearly as good as it is this year. And part of it, I'm going to put a lot of the responsibility of the defense becoming significantly better on Robert Saleh, which is great. We love Robert Saleh. He's doing well. He's doing the best he can with what he has. And obviously we haven't gotten, that's that interceptions have been hard to come by from our defense, right? And so that's one thing. The other thing to consider is, we have a better defense this year. Last year, we had a different kicker than we have this year. Eddie Pinheiro has been really just a blessing. And we got to watch Jake Moody yesterday, though. If you guys watch Monday Night Football, we got to watch Jake Moody hit the game-winning field goal for that team, right? And so you're left wondering, dang, so as soon as he left the 49ers, it's like it was all good. No, and I made an instant reaction to that. And so my thing was just saying that's kind of why Kyle wanted to keep Jake Moody and kept him for as long as he did, because he had a similar experience where back in his Washington days with his dad, they cut a kicker. Kicker went on to be really good. The fact is, Jake Moody probably wouldn't have been what he's going to be now here with the 49ers. And most of it is just pressure, right? There's a different level of pressure when you're drafted in the third round, when people have extremely high expectations for you. It's just a different level. So that's one thing to consider. So it's sort of like, hey, good for Jake Moody. It is what it is. We're now with Eddie Pinheiro. And to be quite honest, Eddie Pinheiro has done a really tremendous job, and super grateful to have him on the team. And because we have had him on the team, we have won more games than I believe we would have won had we not changed the kicker situation. So that's one bright spot, but that's the bright spot, right? Let me tell you the not bright spot. The not bright spot is we've got a decimated team with injuries. Fred Warner, man, the heart and soul of the team. We talked about Dre Greenlaw, right? He brings his energy, but it's Fred Warner who is that leader. And even amongst Nick Bosa, Nick Bosa is a super important piece, but Nick Bosa is kind of like what I would say an amazing talent, an amazing defense, defensive player, and we really love Nick Bosa. But the leader of that defense time and time again, who has sort of been like the defensive coach on and in the field, was Fred Warner. And he has been consistent through the good, through the bad, through the ups, through the downs. He's been consistent, and he's finally going to miss. I think his track record is like he's only missed, like, I want to say one game, maybe a couple more, but no more. I think it's like one game he's only missed, and now he's out for the rest of the season. He's out for the rest of the season. So what are we going to do with that? That's like crazy. It's crazy what we're going to do. Like, we lost Fred Warner, so at this point, it's like, can we get into the playoffs, right? Right now, we're 4-2. We at least need to get another 6 more wins. We're going to see how that goes. And the fact is, why are we doing a little bit better this year than we are doing last year? Truthfully, it's because I want to say our defense is a little bit better. We got a more solid kicker, and so we're able to just stay in those grimier, grittier games. And the other thing to consider is our schedule is weaker. So we're sort of like getting a good situation because of how bad our schedule, like the competition, right? But I'm going to tell you this right now. Tampa Bay, significantly better than they probably were last season. Atlanta Falcons just coming off a win against the Bills in a pretty good fashion. Like, that makes a difference. And so whether you think it does or not, it makes a difference. And so that's something that you have to consider. The biggest thing that I'll say is, Mac Jones, we talked about it. He's been a really good backup. He's done his job. Obviously, you saw that there's limitations when you have a banged up quarterback who, even if he's not banged up, he's not super mobile, right? He makes throws really fast and accurate and on time, which is good. But that O-line of ours, man, it's not great. And the fact is, Brock Purdy, for the last few years, he's been masking a good amount of the O-line inefficiencies and a good amount of the O-line atrocities, right? Like, we have Trent Williams, which, by the way, Trent Williams, I don't want to say this, but he's probably not the best left tackle in the field anymore. And we kind of know that. Like, we all know that. That's not a secret. What I just didn't want to say was, is he close? He's probably, the sad part is, he's probably still one of our best offensive linemen. And he is not even what he once was. So our whole team is getting older. The new guys are trying to step in and step up where they can. But injuries have plagued us. Like, we got to figure something out. Like, Kyle and Shanahan, they need to go back to the drawing board and really look at who is in charge of making sure our guys stay safe and stay in a way where they're not going to get severely injured to where they're out for a season or they're out for 4 or 5 weeks. Like, we got to figure something out, because if we don't, I mean, this is just ridiculous where we're at this point. And I know I'm kind of ranting, but I think it's tough. This is a tough situation to be in, and it's the situation that we're in. So, Sunday's game, there's not much to go over outside of, they were a better team, but they had injuries as well. I just think that the injuries that we have and the place that we're at, it's two different kind of sides, where it's like the 49ers, we need some type of break, right? Now, I will say this. It looks like it looks like Brock Purdy and George Kittle, Ricky Pearsall, and Brandon Ayuk at some point this year can still come back. Now, why do I say that this is good and this is important? As long as those guys are healthy, I think that we can still make a run. Now, do I think that we're going to be world beaters and going to go to the Super Bowl and win? And no. Do I think that, we're going to get to the NFC Championship game and, again, put it all out on the line? No. But do I think, what? We can make it out of the first round. We can maybe make some noise. We can maybe do a little bit of, make a little bit of a game of the, the second round in the playoffs. Sure. Sure. Why not? The fact is, it's kind of ironic that they call us the faithful. Because at this moment, we sort of have to really be faithful. And just understand that, our situation, nothing is perfect, but we got to stay faithful and we got to build from here. Thanks for coming along with me on this bit of a rant, if you will. Obviously, I'm happy to make this great content because happy to share my experiences with you guys. If you like the content, hit subscribe, hit the like button, continue to watch the content. Go ahead and leave a comment. Leave a comment on the video. I'd love to hear what you think. What are your thoughts? Here's what I think. Here's what's going on. Obviously, we can sort of share in our own, in our own way of hey, this is the journey that I'm on. This is how I feel about the team. It looks kind of bright for a couple weeks, but here's what I realistically think. In fact, let me know in the comments, what do you think our record's going to be at the end of the year? Just based on the schedule that we have left and based on who you think is going to be playing and what you think at the end of the year it's going to look like. Do we, go a 10-7? Do we go 11-6? Do we go 12-5? I don't know if that's possible, but how do we do? And then are we in a situation where where we're still doing well enough? Do we even make it to the playoffs? Comment down below what you think our situation is going to be like. And like I said, this is the Phantom. Love you guys. Hit that like button, slam subscribe. Phantom out.